Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be going over my May TBR, even though we're a little behind schedule. I kind of had to line up my ducks before I did this video because I have a few e-arcs that I'm going to be talking about, and I actually don't really know what they're about, but I'm going to try to get to all of them this month, including some of the books that are on my shelf that I've been wanting to read as well. For starters, I briefly talked about this in another video. It's the Guest List by Lucy Foley. This was my book of the month pick, and I've heard so many good things about it, so many 5 out of 5 stars, so I can't wait to actually get to it. I'm a little bit in, I think like 3 chapters in, and so far so good. It's about a wedding taking place on this island off of the coast of Ireland, I believe, and someone is killed. One of the guests is killed. We don't know who is killed, and we don't know who did it. So it's kind of like a Agatha Christie-ish mystery thriller that, you know, who doesn't love. So I'm excited to really get into this one. I've been reading it on and off in between things, so this will probably be next to finish on my TBR for this month. Next is a book that I recently got from Book Outlet, and I'm actually in the middle of it. It's The Truth About Alice by Jennifer Mathieu, I think is how you say her last name. This is a YA book. We're talking about this girl named Alice Franklin, who they've accused to have slept with like 2 guys at this party, and she's a whore and blah blah blah. And it's like you can see on the title all these different names they're calling her, and they have like this stall in the bathroom that they're writing all this stuff about. And then also the same guy that she supposedly slept with died in a car accident because of inappropriate text messages that she was sending him while he was driving, and so now everybody blames her for his death. So I don't exactly know where this is going to end up, but we're kind of starting to unravel and find out, like, was she really at fault, and did she really sleep with these guys? And we're hearing from several different points of views and how they feel about her and what they know about those nights in question. The next one is Watch Me Disappear by Janelle Brown. I actually just finished this, but this was a part of my May TBR. I really wanted to read this one because it's one of the books that's been on my shelf the absolute longest. I got this at Target almost 2 years ago, actually, and yeah, I just finished it, so look out for my review. This one is about a mother who goes missing after she's going on this hike, and it's about her mother, or her daughter and her husband going through the grieving process, and her daughter starts to have these visions that she's still alive, and so we're finding out if those visions are really telling her something that's true, or what really happened to Billy, the mother, when she went on that hike, and also a bunch of secrets in her past. So it was really good, but again, look out for my review, and this was part of my May TBR. The next one I am also in the middle of, about halfway through. I don't know if I'm going to finish this one this month because I'm having a hard time reading it. I actually rented the audiobook from Libby, and then it expired. I didn't read it fast enough. So that's Know Your Name. It's a memoir by Chanel Miller. And this is about a woman named Janelle who was sexually assaulted on campus grounds, and it's about her trial and stuff. So it is really good, but it is tough to get through. I don't know if anyone else who has read it feels the same way. So I might finish it on my own. I am more than halfway through, so maybe I'll finish on my own, or maybe I'll just wait for the audiobook to come back again and read it with the audiobook. I tend to do that when books are too hard to get through. The next one is for Books and Lala's Literary Dead Book Club. I have the hardest time saying that. And that's Fragments of the Lost by Miranda. She picked this one for her May pick. The only one I haven't read from her book club was the Platform 7, I think it was called, because I don't really like to get into paranormal stuff, and I think that was the premises of that one. This one has to do with a girl who's cleaning out her ex-boyfriend's stuff because he just passed away, and her mom, or his mom, wants her to do it, and while she's doing it she like learns secrets and stuff. So yeah, this was Kayla's pick for May, so I'm looking forward to getting into it. I've only read one other Miranda, and that was All the Missing Girls, and I hated that book, so hopefully this one is better than that one. Honestly, the synopsis doesn't seem too interesting to me, but hopefully I will be surprised and I'll really end up liking it. The next 3, I don't know if I will get to. I'm planning on it, just depending on how school is going, because I'm currently enrolled in school right now. It's all online classes, and I'm taking more than what I normally would, being that I'm not working. So we'll see what time allows for me. But the first one is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I've tried picking this up 3 different times, and I'm just not a huge fan, but everybody whose page or whose channel I follow on BookTube says, read this, read this, read this. It's one of the best thrillers. So I'm going to really try to get to it this month. If I don't, definitely next month. But yeah, I've just heard so many good things about this. And it's about a couple who I think appear as like the perfect couple, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So definitely a domestic thriller that would 100% catch my attention. So I'm really hoping that it does, and I am able to get to it this month. The next one is Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Wrobel. Wrobel, I think is how you say her name. This one I've been really wanting to get because I've been on the kick of the Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Like, I watched the documentary on Gypsy Rose, and then I also watched the show The Act, which I loved, and so this book is kind of dealing with the same thing. I talked about it in my most anticipated reads, so I am really excited to read this, and I hope I get to it this month. This one I probably definitely will, because like I said, I've been on that kick for a while. So yeah, this one's about a mother who is like poisoning her daughter, making her sick, mainly for her own gain, and she just gets out of prison, and we're gonna find out what happens with that relationship, and hopefully find out like what happens before she was even in prison. But yeah, so I'm really excited to read this one, and hopefully I will get to it this month as well. And the last physical copy I have of a book that I want to get to this month is The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. This one I've heard so many good reviews about, and this is also one of my most anticipated reads for this year. This is about a young widow who loses her husband from the Vietnam War, and she finds out she's pregnant and the baby's going to have a heart condition. And so the brother-in-law is determined to help her, and I believe it has something to do with time travel and going into the future where there's enough technological resources to deliver her baby safely without any issues. But of course, with time travel comes consequences. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one this month as well. The next couple are the e-arcs that I have, and the first one is The Half-Sister by Sandie Jones. I haven't read The Other Woman by Sandie Jones. I do have it on my shelf, and I wanted to actually get to it this month, but I might end up reading or finishing the one that I have. So again, it's called The Half-Sister, and I started it. I'm about halfway through, and so far it's about these two sisters. We hear from both points of view, and one day they're having dinner as a family, and this girl just knocks on the door, and she basically says like, hey, I'm so-and-so's daughter, which is their father who just passed away less than a year ago. So at first it was kind of intriguing, but honestly the writing is just not doing it for me. I really hope to finish it. Well, I'm definitely going to finish it because it's an e-arc, and it's from NetGalley, so I don't want to, disappoint them. So far, again, like I said, the writing's just not doing it for me, but I'm going to try to get through it, and I'll let you know how it is in my monthly wrap-up. The next e-arc I have is called Stranger in the Lake, and that's by Kimberly Belle. I have read one other by Kimberly Belle, and that was My Dear Wife, or Dear Wife. Yeah, Dear Wife. And I believe I gave that either 3 or 4 stars. I did like that one, from what I remember. And I think I'm trying to buy a physical copy so I can kind of like refresh my memory on it, but it's kind of expensive, I think, on Amazon, so it'll have to wait. But The Stranger in the Lake is about this woman named Charlotte who marries a wealthy man. A woman named Charlotte who marries a wealthy widower named Paul. And I guess because she married him, there's a bunch of gossip in the town, and then they kind of try to get over that, but then she discovers a woman's body of a young woman floating in the exact same spot where Paul's wife tragically drowned. So yeah, I'm all over that one. This one is gonna come out in June, I believe, as well as My Half Sister. So I'm gonna try to get to both of those this month. So that leaves me with a total of 10 books. Again, I'm being a little ambitious. I don't know if I will get to that many, especially because I'll be reading 3 textbooks at the same time. And I also take accelerated programs at my college, so what you would typically have in a normal semester for other colleges is squished into 8 weeks for myself. And so I'm taking 3 classes all within 8 weeks. So I don't know how much reading I'm going to get to. I'm praying that I can get to at least the 2 e-arcs and then at least the first 5 books that I mentioned for this TBR. So again, hopefully my wrap-up is going to consist of those books. We will see. I'm also a huge mood reader, so if I'm not in the mood for a thriller and I want to read a YA, I will do that. And even at the beginning of this month, I didn't know what kind of mood I was in, so those first 5 books that I mentioned, I would read a chapter of each and literally keep going back and forth between all those books so that I could figure out what I wanted to read. And I got the farthest in The Truth About Alice, so maybe I'm just in a YA mood, I don't know. But yeah, does anybody else do that, or is it just me? I don't know, because I tend to just not know what I want, and then it's almost like when you're craving a snack, and you eat, you know, 7 different things because you don't know what you want. It's kind of the same thing for me with books. Like, I literally was laying out on my couch, and I read a chapter of 5 different books to figure out what I was in the mood for, and of course I ended up falling asleep. But I don't know, we'll see, you know, what comes of it, but I really hope to at least get to those 7 books, so we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this is kind of a long, chatty video. Let me know what you plan to read this month if you haven't already started, since we're a little late in May, down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you all on Thursday for a 3 Thriller Thursday review. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you guys later. Bye!